So it was at the face-to-face on Friday. Great event. Had a fun time. Our good friend Taylor came out for a little bit.
Yep.
And was talking about how, like, the last D&D session at the college, how Nick basically killed the big bad by making a very tall, like 21-foot Gary the Snail from SpongeBob and just like ended it Attack on Titan style. It's crazy. Could you imagine fucking Patrick in that situation? SpongeBob, they attacked Wall Maria.
SpongeBob, what is? Little.
You got Mr. Krabs going, SpongeBobby boy, sing sauce, Messiah!
All the Titans here is like,
When SpongeBob dies, all you hear is,
it's just a big old Titan Squidward.
he'd be like the car titan or some shit for sure.
Oh man, literally just killed me. That's so funny.
Sandy Cheeks is just Mikasa Ackerman, bro. You can't tell me she's not, bro. SpongeBob's Secret Lair coming soon.
It's gonna be fire, dude. We better get that SpongeBob Attack on Titan crossover. I swear we riot.
If I don't get a Mr. Krabs stacks command, I'm gonna be so upset, dude.
Hello and welcome to the ParmaJawn podcast, the only podcast where the boys decided a hand with 5 lands, an arcane signet, and a soul ring was a good enough hand to start. Get your floaties ready because the episode starts now.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the ParmaJawn podcast. I am one of your hosts from the Flood. You can find me on X. You can find me on Twitter's the same thing as X, but you do what you do, you know. My brain is like, yes, there. We must mention both. I haven't streamed on Twitch in a long time, but you can also find me there. And I have a YouTube channel that I don't update, but for the most part, I'm doing this. The wonderful gentleman beside me here.
Hello, folks. I am ParmaJawn. You can find me on ParmaJawn TV at Instagram, X, and I always forget TikTok. There we go.
There we
TikTok.
go. Perfect. Today's episode is, of course, going to be Mono Black. Shoutouts. Right. Thank you so much to Nom Honey for that wonderful intro that you hear at the beginning of every episode. We really appreciate all the work she's done for us and all the support from behind the scenes. It really means so much to have her on board and helping out.
Thanks to our friend Ozzy for doing our ParmaJawn logo. We love it. They're very, very talented. If you ever want to look at their artwork or even get a commission through them, you can find them on Instagram at The Stars Have Eyes.
And we haven't uploaded the gameplay yet because editing is taking a little bit longer because we're approaching kind of the end of school, and it's tough to get some free time to just edit, and it takes a lot. So that's my bad. I'm trying to get on it. We're probably going to in the future record a boatload because I think I've got something like a month break where I'll just between semesters where I'll just be able to knock them out one after the other and have a good couple for hopefully all of next semester.
True.
But yeah, today's episode, Mono Black. We have finally gotten to the B in Wooburg. So we're halfway through Wooburg. All the base mono colors. They're still colorless, which is technically not a color, and it has all kinds of weird rules interactions, but that's where we are. That we're doing Mono Black today. It's gonna be a ton of fun. So we'll just hop right into it. The color identity in lore, black pulls mana from swamps. The mana that pools in swamps as a land source. Black embodies the principles of free will and amorality. So you can think of it kind of as just America. Land of the free. Land of the free. Yeah. Its allies are blue and red. You can see that, of course, as always. Turn over the card, look at the back. You can see what's beside it is the allies, what's across is the enemies, and of course the enemies are green and white. Black, as a color in lore, will do whatever it takes to win. If you've spent any time reading into the lore, which I highly recommend, magic lore is incredible, you'll see that Liliana really takes on the essence of a black planeswalker.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure. Again, quite literally will do anything she needs to
win.
To win, yeah.
Yep. She'll betray the people she cares about like she is.
Oh. Yep.
And black is heavy targeted destruction. And this is in-game, sorry, like it's not lore, but black focuses heavily on targeted destruction and discard spells to represent death and mental afflictions. And all of this is taken, I think, mostly from the Wikipedia page. So if any of it ever changes, this is what it was.
This is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I researched it, so if it's ever changed, it's not my fault. It's whoever's doing the wiki.
Yeah, get your stuff together, people at the wiki.
The wiki loft.
Witwiki? Like Sam Witwiki? From Transformers? I don't know why.
We bringing those references from deep today.
Yeah, if you're old like us, you'll get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%, man. Moving into stereotypes. What is the stereotypical player that plays mono black? Probably they're emo or goth. Let's be honest here.
Yep.
They're probably a little depressed. Then again, who isn't?
Yeah. Like you can spot them in a crowd.
Oh yeah, for sure,
like,
man.
Right?
Like you look at them, you're like, yeah, they play braids.
You walk into your Wizards, into your local LGS, and you can just pick them out and go, I bet you that person's playing shoulder today.
Yep, for sure.
So
they generally coin flip as to whether they're gonna win or lose a game.
Mm-hmm.
Heads, it looks like I'm losing today. Oopsie doopsie.
What can you do? It's just the way it goes. But yeah,
they still very much watch 2000s anime AMVs on YouTube. You guys know the one like Naruto and Sasuke in the final valley, and it's just Headstrong playing in the background. Headstrong, I'll take you.
Yeah, and then they'll recommend it to you as well.
Oh, for sure. Like you've never seen this anime before. It's
Bro, you've never seen this AMV before. This song, completely unique.
Speaking of never seen things before, they also think Linkin Park is a niche band that nobody's ever heard of, probably. You'll listen to this. I tried so hard and got so far.
I just found this band all by myself. No one knows about them. They are super niche.
Super niche, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also own more hairspray than the entire cast of Broadway's Hairspray.
That's a lot of hairspray.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do they order that stuff by the pallet? That's crazy, dude.
Like all you can smell when they walk into a room is just hairspray. No amount of deodorant or body spray
just hairspray.
It's just hairspray.
They could be wearing like the strongest, like muskiest cologne.
Yeah. Hairspray.
Nulls it.
Hairspray.
Hairspray.
Yep.
They unironically still say in 2024, mind you, rar and uwu.
Yep.
And the kind of people that say rar means I love you and dinosaur, whatever they Scene Kid said back in 2000, whatever.
Yep. They also think Metallica is screamo, and they're super hardcore for listening to it.
Screamo.
Yep. They hear do 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 do, and they go, "Fuck! I love the heavy metal."
If they listen to Whiskey in the Jar and they go, "Man, the screamo sounds so," I'm going to slap them.
But that's them. They're like, "That's screamo,
true.
dude. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's all it is." And
they probably also have, or they are themselves, a Discord kitten.
Yep. Yeah, we're calling you out today.
Oh yeah, we rolled out of bed this morning and we chose straight up violence.
We sure did. We were not particularly nice, but you know what?
We could have been much worse.
We could have.
100%, 100%.
We cut a lot of things from that list. Let me tell you. So consider yourself lucky, mono black players.
Yeah.
All right, so what does the color black in Magic the Gathering do best? Obviously, it kills stuff.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a card in black literally called Murder. It's a very fun card. Very fun. I love that
Very fun. I'm personally a big fan of Doomblade.
Ah, fair. Yeah.
That card's so cool. It's like not great anymore, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's also super good at aristocrat effects, like sacrifice, death effects. You know, you get something when you sack a creature, when a creature dies, like right off the top of my head. Morbid Opportunist. Whenever a creature dies, draw a card. Only activate once per turn.
Yeah, Morbid Opportunist, aristocrat effects such as like Blood Artist, Zulapor Cutthroat, you know, whenever a creature dies, your opponents lose however much life and then you gain that much.
Yep, that's as well. Yep. Black's also incredible, and one of the only colors that I can think of that makes opponents discard.
Yes, I think
there are a bunch of other colors that do it, but I think black does it the most.
Yeah, black is probably not only does it do it the most, but I would say it's probably the best at it as well, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Black also probably has the best tutor cards in the game.
I wouldn't even say probably. Like Vampiric
like just is.
And yet you don't have to reveal what you found.
And they're not what's the word I'm looking for? Limited to a card type.
Yeah.
It's literally search for like whatever card you want. Put it on top, then put it into your hand. Or some of them even say just straight up put them into your hand.
Yeah, it's almost like Wizards went, okay, we're going to print some tutors, see how it goes. And then they printed it, and they're like, oh, we fucked up.
These are a little bit strong. My bad.
We need,
Yeah.
Oops.
So, it's really strong. We didn't think this through.
Yeah. We did a little bit of a fucky wucky. Could you ever forgive us? Wizards of the Coast. Whenever they printed that card, I don't know. Like,
all the people that use like demonic tutor and stuff are like, yeah, we forgive you. No worries, man.
And everyone else is like, get them out of my magic, please. Yeah. Mono Black is also super good at life drain effects. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but for self and opponents, one of the top things that comes to mind for me immediately is Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose.
Yes.
That card immediately, it's whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
Another life drain effect, actually a more recent life gain effect that I like a lot, is Enduring Tenacity from Duskborn. Whenever you gain a life, target opponent loses that much life. And the great thing about that card, when you destroy it, it comes back to the battlefield as just a straight up enchantment instead of an enchantment creature. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very good at graveyard shenanigans as well as grave robbing, so stealing things from your opponent's graveyards and just playing with your own graveyard, recurring things, just graveyards in general. That's kind of its shtick, right? Yeah.
Very much so.
I don't even think we need to touch on it further. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I think green does a really good job.
When I think graveyard recursion, white. Black is also very good at getting through your library very quickly.
Yes.
It's got Ad Nauseam, which is a great card for it. Necropotence, right? It's really good. It's got the combo piece for that blue card that everyone hates. It was in our literal last episode.
Demonic Consultation?
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good card.
Absolutely. So yeah, black is also really, really good at resource generation, generating treasure tokens, and just pretty much any resource. It's really good at creating them.
Oh, for sure. Right? Black is also really good, and I think a lot of people kind of seem to forget about this just because it's not in the way of lands per se. But black is pretty good at ramp, actually.
Yeah.
For the most part, like I say, it's not like land based as you would in like your mono green or like rule decks or anything like that. But in terms of like mana dorks, sacrificing things to get mana, as well as things like your Cabal Coffers, your Phyrexian Arenas, your Crypt Ghasts.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
And you see like Bantu's Monument a lot.
Yes.
Used a lot more in black as opposed to any other color, because I think there's a monument for each color. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But you see Bantu's the most.
For sure the most, yeah.
And yeah. What is black in Magic not so great at? Counter spells is one of the first things that comes to mind. It is not particularly great. Like, you have to go back pretty far to get any, and those are kind of like hyper specific, right? Like, it's like color counter specific colored spell, or my favorite is Dash Hopes, because it's so silly. Especially in Commander, it's just such a ridiculous card that actually works quite often, and it shouldn't. It is 2 black, counter target spell unless that player pays 5 life.
Yep.
And in Commander, you have so much life that people should just be paying the life, but they often just go, oh no, goodness me, heck no, I don't think so. And you're like, strategy. It's Helldivers.
Starcraft.
Well, because I have stratagems.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Gaming joke.
Funny. Anyways.
Yeah. Black also doesn't have, outside of like demons, it doesn't have many big creatures, and even the demons aren't huge.
Yeah, I think the most they get,
6.
I could be very wrong, but it's like 6 or 7 in power and toughness. Yeah, unfortunately, it very much lacks like big creatures, you know? Like, it definitely doesn't have anything like Apex Altasaur or like Tarask or anything like that.
It doesn't even really have things that slowly get big, right? Like, the Shapeshifter that's a bull.
Torian Mauler.
Right? It doesn't have anything like that. Green has a whole bunch. Even white has Champion of the Parish, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
The only thing I can really... Only 2, I can really think of are Carrion Feeder, which is that zombie, sack a creature, put a +1/+1 on Carrion Feeder.
But you still have to sack it.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
still
just
have to sack it.
It doesn't just happen as you play.
And then Yeheni Undying Partisan. I can't remember exactly what it does. I think it's whenever a creature dies, put a +1/+1, and you can sack it to give it indestructible, I believe.
Yeah, but those you have to kind of build around.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Because, like, they don't just, like, they will and they won't just get bigger from playing the game, whereas every other color kind of has creatures that just get bigger from you just playing your turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas this one, if you don't build around it, they're not going to get bigger.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Like, well, as you said, the Torian Mauler, Mana Gorger Hydra.
Yep.
It's a crazy card.
Yep. So, like, each color, except black, has some things that just get really big really quick.
For sure.
Black is also not the best at stacks effects. It definitely has a couple.
Oh, it's got a few, for sure. And those ones, I think, are great. To name a couple, there's like Oppression. Whenever a player casts a spell, they discard a card.
Yep.
There's Grave Pact. Grave Pact is super cool. But yeah, there's more obviously, but like those are the only 2 that like immediately come to mind.
Yeah, they're like the 2 that are like, these are the big ones if you're playing black and you want stacks, right? So it's not like the stacks cards it does have are terrible. It's just, it's not, when you think stacks, you think blue white immediately, right? You don't think
truly
mono black.
Yep.
So yeah. Black isn't super aggressive, right?
No.
Like, if you want to build a fast black deck, you really need to splash in a lot of red.
Yeah, and mind you, there are like even going outside of like Commander as a format, going into like what format is it right now? I think in Modern, could be like very completely wrong. There's like a budget black burn deck, and that's like about as fast as black goes. And even then, it's not like nothing compared to like your mono red decks or like your, you know.
Yeah. Mono red is incredible at rushdown, quick, huge turns.
Yep.
Mono red can be terrifying for one turn, and then it runs out of gas. But you know what else runs out of gas? Mono black.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say cars.
Not me. I'm a farting machine.
Same. I got IBS. Probably. I don't actually know.
I'm pretty sure I'm in a similar boat. I'll just sit there like in class for like 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I think mine's
trying to play it cool.
Yeah, mine's kind of my own undoing. I'm like pretty sure I have lactose intolerance, but that's not gonna stop me.
Yeah.
You
I'm
kidding
an
me?
adult.
Yeah.
I bought those groceries. I'm gonna fucking consume them.
Yeah, I'll drink a cup of chalky milk, be happy, sit down, and then proceed to be like, oh no, the consequences of my actions.
You stop it. Cup. I buy a liter from the gas station and down it in one sitting and regret it.
Baller. Also, I would combust.
I do.
That's fair.
It takes days to get out of my system.
Oh, man.
It's not great. But yeah, mono black runs out of gas pretty easily. You'll run out of hand sizes, right? There's not a ton of card draw, right? There's obviously some.
Yep.
I said earlier, but more often than not, if you play a really good game with black, you're going to eventually just have nothing in your hand, right? And then it's true.
It is very true.
But by that point, you're probably, again, coin flip, you're either going to win or you're going to lose that game, and you already know by that point.
Very true. Very true.
So,
black is also, I find more than like the other colors to an extent, even like mono blue, black is often perceived as like the threat, right? It's a very strong color by itself, and mono blue, just say like, yes, it's strong, it's a threat.
Oh yeah,
but like I feel like the counter spells and everything make people go, oh, it's a threat, but like, what are we gonna do about it? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think in terms of that, because it is seen as one of the strongest colors, black is very much often the threat, and people are like, we have to deal with that right now, even though their board state is not that impressive.
They have 3 mana and nothing else on turn 7. Kill them.
Correct. Their soul ring just got like Pact of Negation. Somebody lost the game because
yeah, like people's threat assessment goes out the window as soon as someone's playing mono black, and I'm speaking from experience. People are like, oh no, dude, he's playing shouldered, he's only been able to drop 1 mana this entire game, but
get him.
He's the one that we don't want playing the game right now. And it is what it is, right? I understand that, because I do the same thing if I'm not playing my deck. I'm like, wow, that's a high threat. Holy, who plays mono black? They've got confidence in their skills, and they're going to kill everything on the board all the time except their stuff, and then we're going to lose. So,
yep.
You know. Yeah. And with that being said, it is one of the strongest colors, which we did stick in the weakness category.
Yes.
Because, again, it's just helps people perceive you as a high threat. John said that a little earlier, but I'm just going down the list because I'm tired. It's been a long weekend, okay? Now, this next point might be a little bit different with the release of Foundations, actually, because I've seen a lot of this, but it's usually bad at exiling. However, I've seen a lot of black exile target creature with Foundations. So, that could be changing soon.
Yeah, but like before the release of Foundations, yes, I would say black is very bad at dealing with, bad at exiling, and also kind of in the same point, bad with dealing with indestructible.
Yeah.
A lot of black removal before Foundations is like destroy. Then obviously with something with indestructible that does not work at all.
Yeah, and I think Wizards kind of realized this, and we're like, well, Black's known for removal, so we need to add more exiling, and I think we got a lot of that with Foundations.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Black's got like a lot of stuff that makes you or makes your opponent rather sacrifice the creatures, which in fact does get around indestructible.
But if you're not playing that kind of deck,
that's true.
Right?
That's true.
It's you can't always guarantee what they're going to be getting rid of. So,
but yeah,
Wizards. And like Black or Wizards did print a lot of exile, but it's still pretty expensive. Like mana cost wise, not card cost, but mana.
Yeah, the
cost.
only one that comes to mind that's what was the card called? It was one of the free spells in Ikoria. Deadly Relic. There we go.
Yep.
If you can control your commander, you can basically cast it for free. I believe Deadly Relic is an exile removal effect. If I'm wrong, it'll be up there. But yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And Black is also pretty weak at enchantment and artifact removal.
Ooh, buddy boy. Yes, it is.
Once again, I think with the release of Foundations,
True.
it's helping.
I've seen a couple of things for sure in Foundations that definitely help with that.
Yeah, I think Foundations kind of just targeted some of the weaker points of color identities and went,
for sure.
Here you go, buddy.
Yeah, what if it wasn't that way? You know?
Yeah. And hey, all right, we're just gonna zoom right along. We're gonna do popular commanders. We're going to do the most popular at the time of research. Then we're going to do mine, I believe. Yes, and then John's. So we'll just go right into it. The very first one, the most popular commander for Mono Black is Crick, son of Yawgmoth, or Post, son of Rich, if you have that art. I'll put them both up, I think. But it costs 4 and 3 black Phyrexian mana. And a Phyrexian mana can be paid with either black mana or 2 life. He has lifelink, and for each black pip in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Crick, son of Yawgmoth. And I've seen this deck go off. It is so scary because they are just casting things for free the whole game. They have all kinds of things that reduce the costs of the colorless pips. The deck goes hard. It's super scary. It was, I don't know if it's still CEDH, but for a long time it was very CEDH.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, and even to this day, it's super high powered at the very least.
It's incredibly strong. And even just when you think, oh, the Crick deck, they're kind of running out of life, you know, they'll stop soon.
Nope.
They will gain all of that back somehow.
Yep. I actually have a Crick in my mono black deck, and as soon as he comes out, it's like, well, I won this game.
Your one friend Ryan has a Crick. I played against it precisely once.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It was the worst time I've had him managing.
He sits there, he will play, his turns take forever, and in that turn, he will go down to 1 life and back up to 40 like 6 times. And you're like, bro.
Like, it's really cool. I like seeing cool stuff happen. But after like 30 straight minutes of cool stuff happening, I'm like, you can stop now. Can I play my turn? I know I'm going to lose.
Can we just continue the game, please? Like, I get it. I know you're going through your deck. As we discussed earlier, Black's very good at this. I know you're going through it and finding your win con, but like, come on, can we hurry this up? I got places to be, you know? So yeah, it's a cool deck. It's a ton of fun. But again, just more win cons. I don't know. His deck is fun to play against, but also a nightmare. So, and then I guess the deck I own, which at the time of research was the second most popular mono black commander. I didn't know this when I built it. Apparently, I just like following the meta when I play Magic.
That's fair. It's a very good way to play Magic.
Yeah. Anyway, the second most popular is Sholdred the Apocalypse. Sholdred the Apocalypse is 2 and 2 black with she has, I think, Sholdred has Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, and whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So my deck is terrifying. It is based around drawing cards. So people don't want to remove your card draw. However, they want to remove Sholdred, and the deck is built around that knowledge. So people will continually Try to cast removal spells on Sholdred while leaving all of my extra card draw spells, like Howling Mine. I've got a Teferi's Puzzle box in there. I have all kinds of things that will get you new hands or draw a bunch of cards. I have instant sorceries, all of that designed around drawing cards for the table. However, the deck is also chock full of protection. Things that if Shouldered is removed, they come back at the end of the turn immediately. It's very, and John can attest to this. It's very fucking hard to remove my Shouldered, because the deck is based 100% around protecting Shouldered and getting everyone to draw cards. And it works really well, because for the longest time I was like, you know what, I don't think this deck is done. I think I need a couple of more things. But no, I think at its current power level, even without any tutors, it works. It works. Very fun. Yes. Very, very good deck. I love it so much. But it's funny because all of my decks eventually get to the power level where it's like, I can't pull them out unless I know the table is relatively high-powered, even though Shouldered was not meant to be a high-powered commander. And I'm just like, fuck.
Oopsie. Mine, which isn't done yet. And at the time of making this doc, this was the one I was planning on building, and I am still planning on building it. But then there's now another one I'm planning on building. The other one is Asurek the Archlich, Zombie Daddy. I don't know.
Super cool.
But the one I will talk about today is Braids of Risen Nightmare. It's 1 black for a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life, and I get to draw a card. It's pretty straightforward. Make your opponents sack a lot of stuff. They cry. Have a lot of aristocrat effects. You know, let's say whenever a creature or whenever another creature dies, target opponent or each opponent loses however much life, you gain that much. Target opponent or each opponent sacks a creature, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's I'm very excited to play it. I'm hoping that we can probably do an all mono black Halloween episode or something.
That'd be very cool
at some point, right? I think that would be like, Halloween's a year away, so it gives you a ton of time to build it. But I think that would be super fun. We have Shouldered, we have Braids, we could have Crick, invite Ryan on, right? And just have mean stuff happen. Well, the thing is, if he goes down to 1 health, then I can just cast a spell, make him draw a card, he dies.
Funny.
Yeah, so then there'll be a lot of strategy and a lot of like,
yep.
Even though his deck is probably more powerful than anything we'll have, it would still be very interesting, and we would have ways where we could potentially win.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah, so I think that's it's an idea. It's something would like to play around with. We will get back to you, because again, I still need to finish the first gameplay. Oopsie. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to go into some mono black staples. Some cards that are good in pretty much any mono black deck. You've probably seen them. Let's be real. None of these will be a surprise. If you have a mono black deck, you want these cards essentially. Starting off, we have Dark Ritual. Yeah. 1 black mana. It's an instant. Add 3 black mana to your mana pool. Ramp. Some of that beautiful ramp we were talking about earlier. It's
very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Another one. Bojuka Bog. Bojuka Bog enters tapped. However, when Bojuka Bog enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Your opponent's doing graveyard shenanigans. That sucks, man. Boop.
Get that out of here.
Majority of the players cry when they see this card.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of and it's a land. It's a tap land.
Yep.
You're like, do I include it? Probably. Graveyard Hate is actually incredible.
Yep.
Like, you never know when you'll need it. Another one, which you don't actually see as much, but it's still an incredible card, is Grey Merchant of Asphodel. It's 3 and 2 black. When Grey Merchant of Asphodel enters, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Now, this one is much better in a mono black deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you've got a veto, you've got something like that. This card is a lot better than if you're just splashing black into a multicolored deck. But it's still such a good card. It's very fun. And if you have flicker effects, it's a very annoying way to die.
Yes.
Right? Graveyard Recursion, Flicker. Essentially, I think it's just called Gary, I think.
Yes, Gary is the nickname.
Gary is the nickname. And you kind of just have to hope you have something that can block him, not lose your creature, and not let him die, because if they have Graveyard Recursion, you're in for a bad time.
Yes, very much so.
Yep.
The next one on the list is Defile. 1 black for an instant. Target creature gets -1/-1 to end a turn for each swamp you control.
Which is many.
That seems pretty strong, I would say.
Pretty frightening.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just removal. Like we said earlier. Black is very good at removal. Moving right along, another removal spell, Feed the Swarm. 1 and a black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Now it's enchantment removal. It is a sorcery, so you can't surprise people with it. But it's still, it's very fair removal, it feels like.
Yeah.
You lose life, right? And they lose a creature and enchantment.
Yes, truly.
It's a staple. What can we say?
Next, we're going to move along to the more expensive staples. The first one, of course, being Commander All-Star Demonic Tutor. It's 1 in the black for a sorcery. It literally just says, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Not much to say about this one. It's pretty strong, man.
It's a good one.
Yep.
That's for sure. It's frightening and and it's one of the few tutors that don't have to reveal a card when you find it. You just find a card, put it in your hand.
Yeah, your opponent doesn't know what that card is.
No, which makes it super strong. And of course, we have the stronger version, which is also a fucking instant, Vampiric Tutor. 1 black mana, instant. Search your library for a card, then shuffle, put that card on top, you lose 2 life. So you do this right before you draw at the end of your opponent's turn. And you know exactly what you're drawing that turn.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible tutor.
Yep. Again, not much to say about this one. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah, if you can afford these ones, put them in your decks. They'll help a lot.
Yep.
People will be very mad. And then we'll keep going. We have a couple of outliers here. Spells that don't particularly feel like they fit into the mold of mono black, right? The first one is Fog. No, sorry, that's Darkness.
It's like Fog?
It is literally Fog, but instead of costing 1 green, it costs 1 black.
Correct.
Instant, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Boom. Black doesn't have a whole lot of these.
No, this is very much like a protection spell.
Yeah.
Right? Which is usually something you find in like white, even green.
Yep.
So for black to have it is weird.
It feels strange.
Very strange.
Very good card. Very fun.
Yes. To my knowledge, I think this card has only been printed twice. 1 in Time Spiral, probably run on that. And then like another time in the Necron Commander deck when it came out.
Yeah, and it's just an unreal card. Beautiful card art. Love it to death.
It's tremendous. It's the greatest card art. Okay. Fog has nothing on Darkness. All right, let me tell you. I need to stop doing that.
Yep.
It's addicting. I don't support any of it, I promise.
It's getting to the point where we have more Donald Trump references than we do Armageddon references.
Can't let that happen.
And Bruvac, the Grand
Next
Eloquent.
gameplay episode. Yeah. Armageddon.
Armageddon Bruvac, next gameplay.
2 hour guests on that episode. I'm so sorry. Next one is Dash Hopes. Black for an instant. When you play Dash Hopes, any player may pay 5 life. If a player does, counter Dash Hopes. And the Dash Hopes itself counters target spell.
My favorite is any player may pay 5 life. Right? It's a counterspell. It's a black counterspell.
Yeah.
I love this card. Any player may pay 5 life. No one ever does.
Yep.
No one ever does.
No one ever does.
It's pretty much just counterspell with the amount people don't pay the 5 life.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to dash hopes, right? With only 5 life remaining. And I'm going to go to my own terms.
Yep.
I'm going to pay 5 life and lose the game.
Yep. So yeah, Dash Hopes. It's a super fun card. I love it to death. People don't like to pay the 5, and it's a counterspell, which Black isn't particularly good at. It does have a couple. Don't get me wrong.
Sure
Dash
does.
Hopes just happens to be my favorite one.
Yeah, I think it's very funny. You know, any player can pay 5 life, but like let's
Including
face it.
you.
Yeah, including you. You can just straight up lose the game if you want to. Yeah, 5 life remaining. I'm gonna dash hopes that, but psych, I'm gonna pay 5 life. You played yourself.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does the thing that Black is very bad at. As I said, you may pay 5 life. Nobody is probably going to do that.
Which is funny. It's only 1/8 of your life. That is an incredibly small amount, especially in Magic. And people do not. I've seen life gain decks go, yeah, I don't want to pay 5 life. I don't know what you're doing. So it's very funny. It's a very funny card. And I adore it. It's very fun. And then the last card on our list. And the last card we're going to be talking about today is Feed the Swarm. Destroy target. It's 1 and a black, sorry, for a sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. But wait, we said that was a staple. Oh,
It's both a staple and an outlier. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Let me make sure that we did actually say that it was a staple. We sure did. Okay.
Yep, we did. It's just different art. We're good.
And the reason we said it was also an outlier is because it's enchantment removal. And Black isn't particularly great at that.
No, when you think about artifact and chat removal, you're thinking like green, white, red for sure for artifact removal. But yeah, Black, like once again, doesn't really do that thing.
Yeah, it doesn't do it.
So you know it's pretty
particularly
nice. As of at the time of this doc being made, Foundations wasn't really
We didn't know anything.
fully out yet.
We didn't know what was coming out.
Yeah.
So.
So at the time, I would say it's still probably.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah, for sure. And that is all we have on the color identity of Mono Black in Magic the Gathering today. I feel like this one was a little bit quicker than our previous ones. However, I am thinking of sticking a poll up on our Spotify. If people actually enjoy the shorter episodes as opposed to the longer ones, let us know over there. Maybe we'll start one on X, Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Just to get people's opinions, see what the two
For sure, man.
programs like, and we will, if we can, we'll start. It's not even an if we can. We'll just, if people like the shorter episodes, we'll focus harder on condensing our content and making it a little bit shorter.
Yes. While still giving you all the dumbassery that comes out of our shared brain cell.
Absolutely.
Of course.
But I guess we can kind of end it here. I am From the Flood. You can catch me on X. You can find me on Twitch sometimes, YouTube. I'm usually, like, people don't usually message me, but if you do, I might respond. I can't say for sure because it's never happened before, right? But yeah, I'm From the Flood on everything. If you find a From the Flood, it's probably me, like Hearthstone. Like, it's a completely random where I am, but I'm there, and the wonderful gentleman beside me here.
Hello, I am ParmaJawn, otherwise known as Love Child of Jabba the Hutt and Ronald Weasley. You can find me on Instagram, X, and TikTok at ParmaJawn TV. I mostly just shitpost about Magic. That's about it.
Perfect. And, of course, the lovely lady who does our outro is Nom Honey. You can catch her on X as well, but I don't think she posts as much as she used to. But yeah, thank you so much for watching or listening. Enjoy our wonderful outro.
Thank you for listening to the Mana Flood podcast. Any references to companies or other content creators in this episode are done strictly out of love for the brand, as we are not sponsored. If you would like to contact us, our email is floodedmanapool@gmail.com, or find us on X at floodedmanapool. You can also contact the host directly at From the Flood or at ParmaJawn. Have a good day. Bye.